At the most basic level, the study of ecology is the scientific examination of the relationships and interactions between organisms and their environment. I've underlined environment to kind of pull that out and think about what we mean by we say environment. So environment is going to encompass all the factors that influence that organism. We can break them up into two categories: the biotic components, the living factors that influence that organism's environment, as well as the abiotic, the non-living factors, the things that were never alive, things that are inanimate. The biotic components are going to include those interactions that that organism has with other living things that define that environment, whether it's a suitable environment or unsuitable environment. So the picture on the far left there is meant to represent sort of how living vegetation can influence whether a habitat is suitable or not for a particular species. We could also look at that image and think about how competition between those trees might define and alter light conditions and therefore make that environment suitable or unsuitable for other tree species, and in that way define that organism's environment. The middle picture here represents how another living organism could have a mutualistic relationship. It could benefit both species in that partnership and make that environment more favorable for both the organisms in that interaction. And of course, the far right picture here represents a predator-prey relationship, and obviously one individual in this relationship clearly benefits at the harm of the other one. So the presence of the prey makes the environment very favorable for the predator. That's a food source. It's going to be more favorable because that prey is there. And from the opposite perspective, that makes it a very unfavorable habitat from the perspective of the prey. So these are some of the ways that living organisms define an environment. The other category, the abiotic, refers to things, again, that are not alive and were never animate objects. So things like the temperature or the amount of light conditions or the amount of water in the environment. These are things that were never alive, do not have life in them, but very much influence an organism's environment. And again, it's useful to think about this in terms of whether that environment would be suitable or unsuitable for that organism.